Basically, the two sides in the toy war are the safety organisations who say reform is necessary and the toy manufacturers who say they can and do produce safe toys and don't need legal pressure to make them do so. The trouble is that many toys that are normally safe can, unless they're very strongly built like these, disintegrate dangerously in the hands of a determined child. This is something that particularly worries the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents. Two of the Society's staff showed us some of the dangerous toys they've collected in a sort of black museum.
Well, that looks a very charming teddy bear, Miss Naish. What, in fact, is wrong with it?
This. You see, the bear is a shell of foam rubber, and it had been stuffed with whole plastic bags. The workers had been told to shred these to make them safe, but this hadn't been done, and one mother found her small child sitting up in her cot, putting plastic bags on her head. The toy, I'm very glad to say, was promptly withdrawn when this was discovered.
One of the more unusual toys in your black collection are those pink plastic shoes. How did they get there?
These, well, they were sent to me by a group of home safety committees who were very concerned at the thought of little girls putting these on their feet and tottering around in high-heeled, rigid plastic slippers. You see, there isn't even a toe and a heel to hold the shoe firmly on a child's foot. Little girls usually wear flat shoes, and there is a terrible risk of a fall, perhaps even down the stairs.
Is there any record of this, in fact, happening in connection with shoes like this?
Not from these plastic shoes, but a good many people reported these to us as being potentially dangerous and asked us if we could draw attention to it and perhaps have them withdrawn.
The firm that manufactured that pair of plastic shoes is Bell Toys. Their sales director is Frank Ashley.
Mr. Ashley, Rosper, the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents, says that pink shoe you're holding is a dangerous toy. What would you say to that?
Before I can answer that, I must ask you in what way it is considered dangerous.
Well, most particularly, if you could turn it over, it says that the supports for a child's foot are inadequate, that the bands you've got across there will not hold a child's foot, that it might fall off the shoe and perhaps break its ankle.
The best answer I can give you here is to quote you figures. This toy has been produced by my company for in excess of 8 years, in which time we've sent out well over 750,000. We are still awaiting, and we hope we never will receive, our first complaint from the public that this has happened. The straps, as you see, have a certain amount of give in them, but not too much. The child will not slip out of them.
But they might slip enough for them to go over the edge of the shoe and perhaps twist or break their ankle, do you think?
Well, once again, in 8 years, it has never happened.
But it could happen, because they obviously aren't very strong, the bits of elastic on the top.
Well, any toy can be dangerous. A dart, properly used, is safe. A dart, improperly used, is dangerous. This toy is as safe as it can be made.
That doesn't necessarily cover the shoes made by Mr. Ashley's foreign competitors, and it isn't necessarily safe enough. Just as the standards shopkeepers have to observe if they want to keep their good name, don't have the same force for the quick-sell street market trader. At this market in South London, bad toys weren't much in evidence. But at one street market in Islington, a safety organisation found that 33 toys out of the 42 they bought were dangerous. Some shoppers don't seem fully alive to the dangers.
Do you think the toys here are more dangerous, the ones than you will find in a shop?
Well, I don't think they're dangerous. These are sort of proprietary brands. Some of these stores, during the week, they do knock out dangerous toys, I should think. But, if you're careful with what you're selecting and that, I don't think you'll buy dangerous toys.
What do you look for to avoid if you're trying to avoid dangerous toys?
Mainly made in Hong Kong, I should think.
Do you ever think some of the toys might be dangerous?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Do you reject toys you think might be dangerous?
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Can I choose one of the toys you've got here, which I was looking at earlier in a store?
Mm.
This one, in fact, there's a very nasty story of these things being fired and sticking onto a little boy's eye. Would that have stopped you buying it?
Well, I wouldn't let him shoot it without me around to see where he was shooting at anyway.
Did you know that there were, in fact, no laws prohibiting the sale of dangerous toys in this country?
No.
Yeah. These toys could be a mess of sharp edges, poisonous and inflammable materials, and powered by high-voltage electricity. It's just our good fortune that they aren't.